Kisia wore his green shirt as he ran through the tall grass, laughing with Kitoni in his red cap. The sun shone warm over the rural Kenyan hills, and the forest edge seemed to whisper adventure. "Race you to the big tree," Kitoni said, his voice bright with challenge. He sprinted ahead, his feet pounding the earth. Kisia grinned and pushed himself faster, the wind brushing his face. The big tree stood tall near the forest, its wide branches reaching like arms, waiting to greet whoever arrived first. The boys darted between acacia trees, their feet kicking up dry leaves with each step. Sunlight flickered through the branches, painting patterns on the ground. Birds fluttered overhead, singing bright notes that matched their joy. Kisia's eyes caught something unusual near a fallen log. It was small but shimmered like sunlight on water. His laughter slowed as curiosity pulled him toward it. Kitoni kept running for a moment before noticing Kisia had stopped. Kitoni slowed down and turned back, curiosity on his face. "What is that?" he asked, pointing toward the shimmer. Kisia bent down, brushing away dry soil and tiny twigs. A small magic key lay in his hand, shining softly even in the shade. It felt warm against his skin, almost alive, as if it wanted to tell him a secret only he could hear. Kitoni stepped closer, eyes wide. They sat under the big tree, staring at the key in silence. The forest around them felt suddenly still, as though every sound was waiting. "Maybe it opens a treasure chest," Kitoni said, his eyes bright with hope. Kisia turned the key over in his fingers, wondering where it belonged. The sunlight touched the metal, making it glow even more. Something in his chest felt ready for an adventure. Kisia turned the key over again, but nothing happened. He frowned slightly, still curious. Then, faintly, from deeper in the forest, they heard a voice calling for help. The sound was urgent and small, like someone in trouble. Without thinking, Kisia jumped to his feet. Kitoni followed close behind as they ran toward the voice, weaving between trees, their hearts beating faster with each step. A little goat stood stuck between two branches, bleeding sadly. Its legs trembled as it tried to move. Kisia stepped forward and gently pulled the branches apart. The goat slipped free with a small hop. Kitoni smiled and patted its head, feeling relief wash over him. The goat bleated once more, softer now, before trotting away into the forest. As soon as the goat trotted away, the air began to shimmer. The light bent and danced between the trees. Before them appeared a tall, glowing door, its frame carved with swirling shapes. Kitoni's mouth fell open in wonder. "It's real magic," Kisia said softly, his fingers tightening around the key. The forest seemed both familiar and strange now, filled with hidden secrets. They stepped forward and pushed the glowing door open. A dreamy world spread out before them, alive with colors. Rolling hills of silver grass waved gently, and rivers sparkled like stars in daylight. Kitoni gasped, his eyes racing over the sight. "Let's explore," he said, already moving ahead. Kisia followed, feeling his heart lift with excitement as the strange land welcomed them. They climbed a hill, the silver grass brushing against their legs. At the top, giant flowers swayed in the breeze, their petals as wide as blankets. A friendly bird with golden feathers swooped low, its wings glowing. It tilted its head and offered them rides on its back. Laughing, Kisia and Kitoni climbed on, holding tight as the bird lifted them into the sky. The golden bird carried them over crystal lakes where fish leapt in colorful arcs. The air smelled fresh and sweet as they soared higher. Kisia pointed toward a distant castle made of clouds, its towers drifting gently. "That must be our next stop," he said. Kitoni nodded eagerly, his eyes fixed on the magical sight ahead. The cloud castle gates were guarded by a rabbit. Their ears twitched as they watched the boys approach. The rabbit smiled and stepped aside, saying, "Kind hearts may pass." Kisia and Kitoni walked inside, amazed at the glowing halls. Music filled the air, soft and welcoming, as if the castle itself was happy to see them. Inside the castle, they joined a dance with animals of all kinds. Foxes spun in circles, and birds twirled overhead. Lights twinkled above, bright as stars. Kitoni felt warm inside, knowing their kindness had opened this world. "We should visit again," he said. Kisia nodded, his heart full of joy at the magic they had found together. As the sun began to set in the dreamy land, the glowing door appeared again near the castle gates. Kisia and Kitoni stepped through, finding themselves back in the quiet forest. The tall tree stood nearby, unchanged. The magic key rested safely in Kisia's pocket, its glow faint but steady, as if waiting for the next moment. Walking home through the hills, Kisia looked at Kitoni and smiled. "Kindness is the key," he said. The evening light painted the hills in gold, and the air felt calm. Both boys knew more adventures waited, hidden behind everyday deeds, ready to appear when kindness opened the way again. Kisia smiled as he held the key close and felt warm inside. He knew more doors would appear whenever he chose to be kind.